Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel. It's time for post-match reaction following Partick Thistle 0, Celtic 4 today at Firhill as Celtic makes safe passage through to the semi-final of the League Cup where we'll face Rangers at Hampden. I'm joined by Alistair to go over everything of today's game. How you doing, Alistair?
Good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Aye, good. Obviously good result today. And you're now 2-0 on the predictor, so that was the only doing part of the day, to be honest with you. I was willing that fourth goal not to go in, to be honest with you, but no, but overall, I think it was a good day. Alistair, obviously, day was all just always about getting through, making sure we didn't be on the end of an upset or whatever. And you know what, we done that. You kind of put it the best way before we started recording. It was a training session, to be honest with you.
Aye, mate. Because seeing games like that, mate, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you put 5 or 6 by them, you're expected to. If you don't, you get slaughtered. So, as I always say, get in, get out, in the next round. So.
Aye. No, definitely. Team selection wise, Alistair, I'm not going to be too faced about it. I was a bit annoyed, to be honest with you, because there was just, yeah, this is a tough one because as you're saying, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If Rodgers went and made 6, 7 changes, we lost that game. We'd been wanting him to get the sack. But now we're moaning because, I don't think maybe enough changes were made. Rodgers is in a bit of a predicament. I completely understand that you can't have you need to try and gel the squad together ahead of Wednesday night, which he did talk about, but then there's other decisions for me that just baffle me as well. Yang coming in for Barakwisha, I think Yang, I know we're going to score them whatever else, but I think in terms of Barakwisha, you're looking for him to try and get a run of games, try and get his confidence up. And no, obviously we've seen him last half an hour, never really done much, but I think that's because you're not going to get much out of players with half an hour. You're trying to build their confidence up and try to kind of gel. You need full games. Callum McGregor.
When you go.
No, I was just going to say Callum McGregor as well. Kind of baffled me how he didn't even get a rest when you've got two suitable midfielders on the bench that, for me, are deserving of an opportunity because the midfield in the one position just hasn't really worked. So there was just a few changes I was a bit miffed by, to be honest.
I think to be honest, Josh, on your first point about Brendan Rodgers, he's always went strong with the League Cup for some reason. He's probably the only Celtic manager that's treated it with respect season in, season out the whole time he's been here. But what I will say is, I thought it would have went slightly less strong, but however, as we say, he's damned if it does, damned if it doesn't. I maybe thought it would have maybe give Tounekti a rest and played Barakwisha for the start on the left hand side, and then you could play Yang. But I'm glad it never because cards on the table. I love watching Tounekti because it's an absolute joy to watch at times. And I know it's only 2 games, but I think we know class when we see it.
No, we're obviously going and talk about Tounekti because I think it would be rude not to. I don't really think it was the fact that, I think we could have still went strong. There was just a few positions where I was looking at it and going like that.
Bernardo for one.
Especially midfield, I thought, when's Callum McGregor going to get a rest then? He's, for me, this season, he's not been up to the heights of Callum McGregor. I'm going to be honest with you.
He's been overplayed.
He's been overplayed. But especially in Alistair, when you've got 2 midfielders on the bench who the fans have been looking to get a chance, and Arne Engels, by the way, who played £11 million for, and Paulo Bernardo, who we also paid a decent chunk of change for as well. So
Portuguese under 21 captain.
exactly, and you can't get a game at Partick Thistle. Like, no disrespect to Partick, but I did kind of say this on the preview. If they don't get a game now, then I'm really looking at it, and I'm looking at it now at this point, going at right. Paolo Bernardo will probably, and Arnie Engels, I generally think we'll be looking for a way out in January. Because why would you just sit there?
If you think about it, the only two that got a rest was Maeda and Michael.
Aye.
They're the only two, really.
Aye, I just thought. Aye, we talk a lot about the options in the midfield and whatever else and what we've got and how good the options are in that midfield area, but then when it comes to it, we're not using them. So, it really does baffle me in terms of we talk about all these midfield options and we talk about, but they're not getting used. So it's only I'm not going to slate the manager about it, but it's something that kind of bugs away at me. I'm just a bit like, right, so when are we going to see players like Paolo Bernardo and Arnie Engels? The day was probably, and you're not exactly downgrading,
today, Joyce, because in the week we've got coming up, because Red Star Belgrade and Hibs, let's be honest, are harder games than Partick Thistle. I thought it would use the squad today, but it's no a big hang. It just irked me at the time.
Aye. Only obviously the game had the protest before the game. Obviously this new fan group that's put together. What's the name of it again? The Celtic Collective.
The Celtic Collective, yeah.
Aye. So that's obviously been put together, and there was a kind of wee mini protest with throughout the game. Obviously, the one big one at the start of the game, and obviously you had the bits of the posters with, obviously Lawwell out and whatever else.
As well.
I seen they just looked at their phones and as usual as you would expect, but we had that, and then obviously onto the game, Alistair. We opened the scoring through Yang, and probably the most muted celebration
I've ever seen in my life.
Aye.
Because not a soul on the ground knew that was in. It was weird. And even you said, tell it was a bit. Is that in or is it the hole in the net?
I thought he missed it, to be honest with you. I thought he missed it. It's a good ball in for Negrin, and Yang can't miss. I did think at the time he had missed, but he couldn't miss. Alistair 1-0 up. And then that's kind of the one thing out the way, because obviously Partick were probably going to sit in and they were going to try and, suffocate the game. The game plan's kind of out the window at that point. They're going to have to come out. They're going to have to try and, find a goal. But then we just pick them off again. The second goal is for a corner. Liam Scales heads it into the top corner. For me, Partick Thistle goalkeeper has to save it.
Yeah, I thought he did save it, wanted it through his fingers.
Aye.
But that's what it looked like. But
I just think his positioning was pretty poor.
Yeah, I think he thinks he's going to get clattered by the post.
Aye, no, I think so.
Yeah, but no, I was always thinking, once we get the first goal, try and get the second as quick as possible. And then once you get the second, I know you could never say never. Once we get the second, the game was done.
Aye. No, definitely. Again at half time, obviously, you're just looking maybe to get another goal, as I said, just to make 100% sure that we didn't need to wait very long.
Best goal with it.
No, it was really good. Starts in Partick Thistle's box. Hatate plays a really good ball around the corner. Then Tounekti, who is a live wire again all day this afternoon, plays a ball in Ariacho. Then he good hold up play, which I thought was really good as well. Kind of flicks it and then puts it back to Tounekti. And the one thing we were talking about after Kilmarnock was talking about that end product. He certainly had it there, Alistair, the end product, and that's obviously getting
Yeah,
the third
lovely
goal.
finish. Because he just hits that across the face.
Aye. No.
And at the far post. Actually, hasn't McGowan, I think, actually hit the same part of the net. That's how far into the corner they were. But no, Tounekti's been a breath of fresh air. He's been a player we've been crying out for since. I know we've got Jota, but we've not really had Jota
No.
because of circumstance. But he's definitely a breath of fresh air. And he gets you off your seat, Josh. Every time
I
he
know.
gets the ball, goes straight at players. A lot of players like that, and they're no easy to find. Trust me.
Aye. No, even Nicholas Kuhn wasn't like that. Nicholas Kuhn was he would kind of take the player on, but I think Tounekti's just kind of raw pace and kind of skill. As you said, that's to get you off your seat. The fourth goal, it's a mistake by Partick Thistle. Barclays just out muscles the Partick player, plays it. Luke McCowan gets the ball, and it's a pretty simple finish. Obviously, Alistair, positives. We spoke about two probably just about a minute ago, and Iniacho and Tounekti, they look like they're good link up play. I thought Iniacho, I know he didn't maybe score a goal
And
in the box
also,
for shots.
KT and Tounekti linking up as well was really good. I thought that
No,
was
no.
dead visible.
Aye. No, but I thought Iniacho's hold up play was really good. And then I thought obviously Tounekti was probably the best player in the park. I think, to be honest with you, he is the only player that I have generally get faith on that would do something in a Celtic shirt at the moment, to be honest. Aye. To be honest with you, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. My main criticism in a Celtic squad has been, and it still is, there's nobody that I think you can hang your hat on to go and get you a goal or go and make something happen. But it looks like we've got somebody who can do just that. Thought it was overall play was really good, and obviously getting that goal as well. Alistair spoke about obviously Tierney there. The other main positive was him getting a kind of full 90 minutes, because if he didn't today, I'd be starting to go, all right, what was the point?
Yeah, and I think that was also good for Kieran Tierney's self-belief. Right, I don't have to go for after 50, 60 minutes, because I know that was because the longer you keep doing that, Joe, the more people start to doubt it and stuff like that. But no, it was good to see Kieran Tierney get forward a bit more, because I don't know if you agree with this. So he's not really getting forward much in the preceding games.
No, my problem with Tierney's been he's falling at the same trap a lot of the players are. It's just backwards all the time. And that's no Kieran Tierney that I was used to years ago. Kieran Tierney would get to the byline, he would put a really good cross in. For me, my problem has been with Tierney when he's been here for the short time that he's been obviously here, is he's doing what probably we criticise the other players for doing. It's just gone backwards too many times. But I thought he was at least trying to making the runs that I just spoke about there, trying to get to the byline and put crosses in. They obviously
the crosses were good today.
I thought they were decent. We just didn't have anybody in the end. That's on the end of it, but obviously that's another problem. But no, I thought overall it was good in that left hand side. As for the right hand side, we have got a major issue.
Yeah, if you're going back to Yang, we've got a major issue. I know he scored today, and I don't want to be picking on him, Josh, but he's he's a bag of tricks, but you don't know what you're getting, and
I wouldn't,
I don't
I
like
wouldn't even say
players
he was
like
a bag
that.
of tricks. I wouldn't even say he's a bag of tricks. He scored brilliant. He couldn't miss.
Well,
I
I
just
say my from being
the,
long time.
the ball in that first half was going down the left hand side constantly. The right hand side, can only remember it going down once or twice. Because I think even the players have got no faith in that side.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
I don't think that doesn't even no, that's not even a Yang thing. I just think that's the thing in general. I just think that no matter who plays on that right hand side, if it's Forrest, Yang, I don't think they've got a lot of faith that anything will happen. But then at least on the left hand side, you can see Tounekti's going. I give him the ball, he's going to try and do something with this.
Yeah,
That's the difference.
you can give him the ball that protects it,
Aye.
but
And I've always spoken about the back pedaling as well. About is that a tactical thing? So I said what I've been saying for weeks is right. Let's see against Partick and Hibs if Tounekti starts passing back all the time. No, he's not. So it's not been a tactical thing.
yeah,
They're not being told to pass the ball back.
I
They're
agree.
doing it.
So
That's the difference.
they're petrified to lose the ball there.
And it's fans will care more, in my opinion. If I'm going with what I think, fans will care more if you try. You try something different. You try something past. Fans hate passing the ball back. Now, of course, you need to pass the ball back, Alistair. But my problem is this season, it's too much.
Yeah, it's about 80% of the time. I mean,
Aye,
how many touches did the back two have? Because it was a back two. Let's face it. Um, and the goalkeeper, and we're playing Partick Thistle, and that's what was doing my head in at times. Uh, it was a decent performance today, but it wasn't that rolling free scoring, never boring Celtic.
aye.
Sorry to I
I was
get
going to
lost
mention that.
but
Um,
but it was. I would say you're playing at 50% at best.
but the problem is, Alistair, we've been playing at 50% all season.
At
And
best.
and that's the problem. And maybe I'm being entitled here or spoiled or whatever else. I'm still looking for a bit more.
But
You
you're
know,
looking for just a performance where you can say we played
we
really
were
well
brilliant.
in the day. Aye. And we've not
Consistency
really
as
had
well.
that since. I'm going to be honest. We've not really had that since Leipzig.
Aye, you know,
That they
and
actually won a game.
they've got the perfect opportunity to do that on Wednesday. They've got the perfect
Aye, be nice.
opportunity
Be
to go to
nice.
Belgrade and do that on Wednesday. And that's the thing is, but I just thought at times there was points where, there was a point I think in the second half where Hatate and McGregor passed the ball back to each other, within 20 seconds about 6 times, and eventually got the ball to the left hand side. They could have done that in one move, but it took 6 passes. Like that's when I'm just thinking this is too much. This is too much. There's too much passing. You need to pass, obviously you need to pass the ball, but there's passing when it's just pointless. And that some of the times
There's
it is just
passing and there's crisp
aye,
passing, to be fair. One touch and move it. That's what you're looking for.
I
Right.
know, like
Well,
so,
one positive on the right hand side was the young laddie Donovan, who
aye,
impresses me more and more by the week, to be fair. And he's only 18, still a bit raw in my opinion, but he'll get there. And so much so, I think we said it off camera. Um, I would hate when Tony Ralston's back fit to drop that young lad because I don't think he merits it. I
I'll not be
really
very happy if that happens. I will not be happy at all. I think Brendan Rodgers that'll be more questions laid with him because if he does that, I don't think he will. I think Brendan Rodgers sees a lot in Donovan, and don't get me wrong. There's Roberts, but you're going to get that, and that's fine. But
He's
what you
18.
what you can see is progress. I think that's the main thing. You can see
See
progress.
bravery. You'll
Aye,
see bravery.
no, definitely. Um, the bravery, the progress, you're going to get the rough edges. That as he grows into a player, that those will be ironed out. Mostly
And
so.
I would rather give the boy Donovan a chance than somebody that's had chance after chance and
Mhm.
never really convinced. I'm not having a pop at Rouse, I'm just saying what I think.
No,
You
definitely. Um, I don't know why I thought it was today negative sides, but negatives we've already covered the whole passing thing. I just think sometimes it was a bit too much. I'm going to be honest with you, Liam Scales. I mean, it was the. I think both centre halves today were really on edge.
it was, can I just say, Josh, it'd be remiss to, to, s- to not say this. The pitch was a
No, I know.
shocker. It was an absolute shocker. It was bobbling all over the place, especially where we were defending in the first half. It was really bad. It was
No,
really bad.
no, it wasn't great. It was really dry. It looked on, especially on the TV. Um,
I obviously they never watered it.
well, I don't know, Goni, because there was a
No,
point when I think there was a pass that was made forward, and I think somebody would have got to it if it was the pitch was just a bit wetter. But I will give them the benefit of that doubt. But I just thought, especially in that
I
first
thought the
half,
one where you'll remember this because I was in shock. See the one Vickers kind of tried to dribble in his own box. I'm like, just get rid of it, get
aye,
rid of it. And I'll be honest, I'm starting to see that more. It's still a lot, but I'm really starting to
aye,
see flaws in Vickers' game, and I hate saying that because he's been one of the best centre halves that I've seen, Josh.
aye. No, and it goes back to that whole pointless passing argument. There was points where we're in the box and it was just we're just passing it, and you're like, and nobody was getting to it, and you're like, a better team would have punished us,
Aye,
you know. And there was a point, and that's what I'm going on about Liam Scales. There was a point where Liam Scales just passes it to no one, not under
aye.
pressure. And there was a point as well where he's, he's got so much time to drive forward, try and break through the Partick team. He just stands there,
I
passes it
don't think
sideways.
I don't think skills. I may be wrong here, but I don't think skills trust his recovery pace. So that's why he doesn't. He doesn't like coming out with
Aye.
the ball. In that case, just release the ball early then.
He
You know,
doesn't
like,
do any. He
don't.
doesn't do any of the two of them. That's the problem. He doesn't do any of the two of them. And by that point, Partick Thistle were able to get back. If he had any sort of breaks or whatever, you know, Rogers wants to play quickly, but Liam Scales doesn't marry that up because every time he tries to get back into a position to play the ball, Partick are already in their shape and they're ready to defend the game. So I've said this, and this is one of my main, and I'm really critical of Liam Scales, and that's why, because I just think if Celtic want to play and it's your kind of faster football and want to kind of get it to your wingers who can do something, then you need somebody who's going to be more comfortable mentally with the ball at their feet and physically with the ball at their feet. And for me, Liam Scales just isn't that.
I'll be honest, Josh. I think Williams William Skills has served his purpose, and
For years.
and, and I think as soon as Trust is back fit, I would put him back in there.
Aye.
just
I,
because height and presence.
I still won't. It still baffles me why Austin Trusty doesn't get games. Maybe he's a bit less physical, whatever, and maybe struggles to deal with SPL centre halves, but he's better with the ball at his feet. And he's probably
Sounds a bit stupid, but was he on the bench today?
no, I think he's obviously injured, isn't he? So
Aye.
so obviously he
Makes
wasn't
me
on the bench.
wonder why did we. There's another one. You could have played Dane Murray today.
Why did we sign Jemai Simpson-Pusey?
I know.
Um,
Give Johnny Kenny a 4-year contract.
it's just
It's just
there's a lot of baffling decisions. Johnny Kenny's in the Europa League squad, not seen him since. Shinyamad is not in the Europa League squad, but
no
Rodgers
seen
has talked about how decent he's been. Dane Murray, we're talking about at the start of the season, talking about maybe, he'll maybe break into the team. Where is he? So there's a lot of things, and also Jemai Simpson-Pusey. It's never to be seen, and we signed him for Manchester City's youth academies. It's just mental. I don't get it.
You've got to ask the question if Simpson-Pusey's way off it, right? Then what was the point?
I know there's no.
When we sign a player on loan, especially when we're not going to buy him, you need to play him there and then.
No, well, Rodgers was asked about it, obviously, and he said, it'll be a longer term thing with Simpson-Pusey. You've not got a lot of time.
It's only here a year.
It's October. It's October in a few weeks.
Aye.
So it's really baffling for me personally.
Look, if we've been totally honest, just say you don't rate him. I think Brendan Rodgers that's Brendan Rodgers' weakness for me. I'm going to say it. Centre half. Because you just carry on with Lagerbielke, ironically going to come back with Braga in a couple of weeks. And the Rocky.
I don't know if you've seen this story about Lagerbielke being found as a missing person in Holland.
I've seen that.
Which is quite funny. No, but it's right. And it seems to always happen with centre halves. Lagerbielke in for Feyenoord, Dean wasn't good enough. The Rocky, one game against Aberdeen, out he goes, wasn't good enough. Austin Trusty's brought in for £6 million.
Done by the way.
Aye, Austin Trusty brought in for nearly £7 million. Was good, right? I think relevant in the Champions League. Domestically, still had stuff to improve on, but you're going to have that. Keep it the stoppers in Leipzig. Aye, and I just don't get it. He was brought in Jemai Simpson-Pusey, nowhere to be seen. Dane Murray talking about how and that's obviously Brendan Rodgers. We know has had his hands tied behind the back because of the board, but then there is points when this when I go at right. Brendan, come on, you're not making much sense here because he's where's Paulo Bernardo? Where's Arne Engels?
Yeah.
You at the end of the day, we talk about recruitment and no Brendan's players. He's the manager at the end of the day. He signed Paulo Bernardo. He signed Arne Engels. It's and I look at it and go at that. Right, Brendan, 100% behind you about the board. The board have shafted you. Completely agree on that. But Rodgers, for me, at times, when it comes to signings, it doesn't make any sense. I don't get it.
I know, man. But especially with centre halves, Josh.
It's really strange.
It might not rate Bernardo, but that's 5 or 6 centre halves.
There's too many.
You've had Pusey, you've had Naroki, you've had
Lagerbielke,
and
Trusty, obviously.
Trusty.
You've had too many.
The weakest piss comment is always stuck in the back of my head somewhere. And okay, he'd a point at that game, But is that an excuse to have like, and let's be honest, before Trusty got injured, I even said to you, Trusty's had a bloody good pre-season.
He put the
Remember?
stoppers on Benjamin Šeško and Lewis Openda.
Aye, so many teams do that
Yeah, exactly.
in the life.
Aye.
No, but
Uh,
but the day was an exercise. We managed it, and we've got an even easier game in the next round.
aye. Well, we need to learn to score against them first before saying that because we seem impossible to actually get a result against Rangers. But anyway,
It was
but
just a bit of banter before
um,
people.
but obviously we go to see Balakusha as well. Yet again, decision making. I would have liked to have seen Balakusha get a run out because we were critical. He was going back again quite a lot. I'm starting to get a bit worried about that. But at the end of the
A
day,
bit safe for me.
but at the end of the day, you're only giving him 30 minutes to try and get it together. You got to remember, I think he's not been helped by the fact that the guy on the other side has come in and just looked like he's been
Giving
on the
it
team for
up,
6 months.
aye.
Aye. I think Kieran Tierney said something post match. It looks like he's been on the team for a
Aye.
season. So it's not
Well,
like he's been helped in that
sometimes you
sense.
got a player like that, Josh, and sometimes you got a player like, I'm going to use Samaras. It took Samaras a fair bit of time to kick in. And I know one's a left winger, one's a striker, but Sammy played on the left hand side at times,
Aye.
especially in Europe, weirdly. So I'm still going to give um, Balakwika the benefit of the doubt, but it needs to do something soon.
No,
Because if it
definitely.
does, I'll start going arms and legs. Because I can already hear, is this the guy we've waited 2 years for?
Aye. No, definitely. What I would say, and I don't know if you agree with this, maybe he just needs a home game, big pitch, to try
I
and.
was thinking that.
He's probably nervous. He probably is really nervous. You know, maybe he's just needing. Well, next week at Parkhead, maybe he's needing maybe 90, 60, 70 minutes for the start to show us what he's made of, and try and
And
get
you
his career
can't,
kind of lift.
I will say this about it as well. Josh, you can't keep relying into Neki to bail you out.
Aye, not even just bail us out to that spark because, as I said, and I said it earlier on, he's the only player I've generally got belief in that will try and spark Celtic into life, and that's me saying players like Hatate I don't think will anymore because I just think there's a real staleness about the Celtic team at the moment, and he is thankfully the shining light is trying to
I
elevate.
think with it, I think a lot of people know they're not last knockings in a cycle, Josh. I think that's
Aye,
the trouble. I'm not saying
aye.
it's right, but it's only natural. They must, because Hatai, Maeda, avoid under that.
Aye. Oh,
I
definitely.
know what I did them, but you've got to be realistic. How long have we been relying on the players sticking us out of holes?
Aye. No, definitely. Obviously, you mentioned there slightly as well. We're obviously got Rangers up in the semi final to try and get to Hampden. Obviously, the other tie being St Mirren and Motherwell. Um,
That'll
we
be
need
the Sunday I can take it.
probably let's put it simply. Brendan Rodgers has to win this game because we'll obviously get into the nuts and crannies of it later on when the game actually comes around. But Brendan
It's
Rodgers,
actually, it's actually a fair bit away, Josh. 2nd of
aye,
November, I believe.
2nd of November, aye. So Brendan Rodgers' record in this fixture's becoming quite bad. From a position of, every time Rodgers went out of one of these games, brilliant, we'll be fine. He's he's no scored since I think Adam Ida's one, which was a dead rubber.
Yeah.
The one at Ibrox earlier on was horrendous. Obviously, we don't know if Rangers will maybe go on a run now because they've got one victory, but Celtic need to win it. It's a massive game, but obviously, as I said, we'll get in it later on down the line. Alistair, to finish off, I'm going to ask you, your man in the match. I mean,
I think we'll be saying this quite a lot for the next 3-4 weeks. So Tounekti, it has to be.
no, definitely.
I mean,
He's just.
I've got to pay him a compliment. He's like, remember when Jota come in under Ange, and he would take the game by a scuff of the neck, and that. I mean, I know it's been Kilmarnock and Partick Thistle, but whether we like it or no, these are the type of teams he's going to come up against.
Aye. No, definitely.
And I'm just enjoying them, to be honest. It's the last time, I can't remember the last time I've been so infused with a player, to be honest with you. 2 games in.
No,
he
he
just
said
stands out a mile.
No, he's had a brilliant start to his career, and obviously adding that goal there. He's by far the man of the match, and he's been by far man of the match over the last 2 games because he's given us a completely new dimension to the attack that was just severely lacking.
I'm actually going to give somebody else a mention, John. Tounekti's man of the match, but I thought the 2 assists for Niguin, I was quite pleased to see that because a lot of people have had a bit unsure about Niguin, so then again, he might be a Celtic player.
I think his assist brilliant, but I'm still a bit unsure, to be honest with you, Negrin, if I'm your honest opinion. But but I think Tounekti gets the man of the match by far. I think there's not even a debate. To end off, well done in making it 2-0 on the score predictor, you bastard.
Yeah, I'm going for 10 in a row, guys.
I could be £20 down by the end of this season. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there for the Partick Thistle versus Celtic match reaction. As Celtic are heading to Hampden once again to face Rangers in the League Cup semi-final.
Question, Josh, before you go. Would you rather play them in a semi or in a final?
Semi.
I'm the same.
Semi-final.
I think if you're going to play them, and you're going to have to beat them anyway to win the World Cup. So I'd rather play them in the semi.
No, I would rather play them in the semi-final. Obviously try and get through to the final. But no, I'll wrap up there for today's video. As I said earlier on, we'll be back later on in the week with build up to Wednesday night's game ahead in Belgrade as we open up our Europa League campaign against Red Star. But until then, we'll speak to you later, and hail.
Hail.